This episode of Creative Process is brought to you by Logo Serial. Logo Serial is a community-driven project that provides designers with bite-sized tasks to help them develop their skills. Each brief aims to challenge designers to try new styles and explore new areas of design through extension tasks. Each brief was written to simulate and reflect real-life businesses, and therefore, Logo Serial helps you build case studies for your portfolio to attract real clients. Real clients, people, real clients. Logo Serial also has a community of established creatives who offer their feedback and knowledge to help push your work even further. Join over 300 other designers and get started with Logo Serial today by using the link in the description. Again, join over 300 other designers and get started with Logo Serial today by using the link in the description. All right, let's get back to the podcast. Welcome back to the Creative Process podcast with myself, Jared Klein. Today is episode 2 of season 3. I just want to welcome you to the, to the podcast wherever you're listening, whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, or any other platform, or whether you're watching a clip on TikTok. I don't know if that's going to be in the clip, probably not, but whatever it is. We are recording on a Monday, the great month of May, and the day of the number of 16. So that's what's happening. That's what's happening today. How are you guys doing? I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. Awesome. So today, what we have on the deck today, you will see me looking at my phone here numerous amounts of times just because I took some notes today at work. I asked on Twitter, insert screenshot now, so you can see that on YouTube. I asked on Twitter what I should talk about today, and I got a few responses. I had one in mind that I think will be talked about either next episode or the episode after. I don't know, but it will be talked about because it's a topic that I have endured so far in my career, my short career with the Timber Rattlers, and it's something that I had to get used to. So that will be talked about sometime. I'll stop talking about that topic. But the topic we are talking about today will be what the title says. We will be talking about burnout today. We'll be talking about burnout, the horrible, and actually I think it's a great thing to have is burnout in this whole scenario as being a graphic designer and figuring out what you want to figuring out what you want to do and everything like that and honing your skills. So I wrote a few notes down today so I can kind of have a direction to go. So you won't see me looking at the camera the whole time. You won't see me, I'll probably be looking everywhere. So if you're watching this, that's why. But if you're listening to this is a good one to listen to. This is a great one to listen to. So kind of, stay with me and everything like that. So here we go. Basically, burnout. What is burnout? Basically, it is what it is, right? The whole premise of creative burnout, or some people like to call it creative block, is like just being completely unmotivated, just not wanting to do anything. Just you feels like you hit a wall, no ideas are flowing, and because of no ideas flowing, you can't really push out a product, you can't push out something that is up to your standards, and you can't really do what you like doing, and that's very frustrating. But it happens to every single designer. I haven't met a designer yet that it hasn't happened to, so you aren't alone in this whole process of things, no pun intended, but you aren't alone when it comes to having burnout. It's a very natural thing. Some people have it all the time. Some people have it very, very uncommonly. Like myself, I don't really have burnout much anymore, but I did a lot early in my career. So yeah, I think the reasons why I think burnout is caused is, the main thing is overworking and being overworked and working, super long hours with pointless projects or everything. That is the main thing that I think people get, I guess, creative block from. That's what I've gotten creative block from. It's like when I get super super tired and super lethargic, and just because I'm just working constantly, and I have no time for creative freedom or creative exploration or anything to kind of refresh my mind or anything like that. Or I mean, anything relating to stress, honestly. If you're having a stressful time outside of work or outside of sitting at your desk and producing some creative content, whatever that may be, you have that stress that very easily ties into you not being motivated to do what you love to do. And that's just part of it. Sometimes it's part of it, something you have to get over. Sometimes it's something you have to experience, honestly. If you haven't experienced this, if you haven't experienced creative burnout or creative block, whatever you want to call it, whatever your preference is, it's something that builds you as a designer. It's something that really makes you think about how you deal with hard situations within this profession. So I'm going to be going through my notes here. So main thing that can kind of help people is do some personal reflecting. When it comes to personal reflecting, figure out how you decompress, how you react to certain situations. Take inspiration from how you've overcame those difficult situations in your life. And whether or not, this is a scenario that's like, whether or not this is a scenario where, maybe you lost a friend, or, maybe a relative died, God willing, or God unwilling, I guess. I don't know which way to put that, but God willing, that didn't happen for you. But, whether, something traumatic happened in your life and you realized that you had to dig deep and get over that. I'm not saying you are over that. Maybe you aren't over that, but how have you been able to continue going through life and being able to, not have that ruin yours, but make you a stronger person? That's where you can dig down to. If you've experienced, extreme trauma, granted, everyone experienced some sort of trauma that is their extreme. Not everyone's extreme trauma is the opposite person's. Like, your extreme trauma is completely different than my extreme trauma, what we've experienced in our life. So whatever you have gotten over, kind of hone in that type of scenario, not relive it, but figure out and do some self-reflecting on how you got over that. Figure out what was kind of tipping. If you had to get up, step away, go outside, take a walk, read, go eat some food, do anything basically, just to get your mind off of things. A big thing that I like to do is either go outside or hang out with friends. Going outside, it kind of replenishes the senses. It gets fresh air into your lungs. You breathe deep a couple times. It's a complete and utter overhaul of the oxygen you've been breathing, that's been really stagnant inside your office space or wherever you're working. So going outside, getting a walk around, looking at things, being grateful for where you are and what you're able to do and everything like that, it helps immensely. It clears your mind. Don't think about much. And if you do think about things, when I go on a walk by myself after, I've had a really tough day, and starting to experience creative block, I think about, things I'm grateful for. I think about my family. I think about my friends. I think about, sports. I love and enjoy sports, and things like that. When it comes to hanging out with friends, unfortunately right now, a lot of my friends work, so we're on the same schedule as each other. And most of the time when we go home to decompress and do our own things. So when I say hang out with friends, I usually am playing video games with some of my old friends from school, or some of my good friends that I don't live close to, so I can stay connected with them. But being able to talk and think being able to talk and think about different things about what you're not doing. I didn't say that right, but being able to not think about your project that's causing you stress kind of relieves everything, at least in my way. That's what's helped me. Another thing that I've been able to realize as I've gone through this whole process with myself is I've been able to realize my personal cues on when I'm starting to feel burnt out. The lack of motivation starts hitting me. I start whether it start lacking on attention to detail or quality of end product in my profession or in my personal work, it also translates into me not sticking to, a diet or sticking to a meal plan or sticking to working out. Like when I start getting burnt out, I start not going to the gym as often as I usually should, and as often as I do. I start not wanting to do things that I really care about, i.e. this podcast, or designing on my own, or, watching a movie with my fiance, or, doing things that I love doing. Those start taking a back seat. And my guess, upon doing self-reflecting, those type of things receive that back seat because it's my mind saying, hey, focus on yourself, figure out how to get out of this scenario. When in some scenarios, like working out and, spending time with the person I love the most, that's helped me. So it's a horse apiece, whether it works or doesn't. Like if I start doing something, like let's say I'm getting frustrated with like what I'm doing graphically, right? With what I'm doing graphically, and I go work out or I go hang out with my fiance or something like that. And I keep getting frustrated. I know that I have to take a step back. I'm not going to ruin the situation, but I have to take a step back and rethink things. How can I, why was this making me frustrated? Why am I still frustrated? Am I just thinking about this too much? Am I putting too much pressure on myself? And I also ask my fiance or any other people. I ask my coworkers, I ask my friends, I ask people that I'm comfortable with, asking that question. Either how they've experienced something like this and how they've kind of gotten out of it, or just kind of ask them and strike up conversation just so I can physically talk about something that's not design, talk about something and physically get my mind off of this thing that's causing me to burn out. That helps a lot, to physically do something. Walking is a good thing, but playing sports, if you tonight, for example, I am playing softball. I play softball tonight at 6 p.m. It's 4:39 p.m. and I have to go there pretty soon. So literally, let's say I had a bad day at work. I got done at 4, decompress, sit down, maybe relish on a little bit, but be able to go and play softball is going to be a mental release because I'll be completely focusing on something else. That's kind of something that gets me going, that allows me to kind of, decompress. So moving down here, another thing for everyone listening, more talking to you specifically, you people specifically, find out what keeps you motivated. Realize, keep your why. I like to have something in my head and in my notes. It's called my why I am, doing what I am doing. What's the purpose? What's the goal? Keep that in mind. That'll always keep you driving and keep you, moving forward and everything. Already talked about being vocal and working with a team, to figure out how to attack the situation. Personally, in my place of work, I'm working on a team. So if I get burnout, I have to communicate. I have to, make sure everyone realizes, or I want to have everyone realize this is what's happening. For some reason, I'm frustrated. I can't, I'm not pushing out things that are up to my caliber. How can you guys help me? Can I have some support on this? And being vocal with people like that, and it only makes you, honestly be open to vulnerability. Not a lot of people like putting themselves in that situation, and not a lot of people like having other people see their downfalls. That was a big thing for me, to where I'm a very emotional person, but I'm not afraid of hiding it. I don't sit here and cry all the time, but I'm not afraid of telling my feelings or telling people my feelings. I'm not afraid, a stereotypical one, when I was in high school, not a lot of kids like to tell their mom, oh, love you, we'll see you later, have a good time, or, something like that, because a lot of people are embarrassed by their mom. I make sure no matter where I am, I express, what I'm feeling at that point. I'm not afraid to kind of, be vulnerable in that sense. So making sure and getting through that stiff wall of invulnerability, and, you know, making sure that you're able to speak your mind and get in a situation freely to have some support in that system. If you can't dig down deep for yourself and bring that up, ask other people for help. That's always a good way to go. Asking the people you care about and the people that care about you for help is a perfect scenario, because then it puts trust in both parties. It makes it a comfortable situation, and you're able to talk freely about a tough time that you're having at the moment. And again, I'll reiterate this: you're not alone. Having burnout is something that happens. It's something that always happens. It's something, whether it's frequent or infrequent, it's always going to happen. You're going to have those moments where you're not really sure what to do. You're experiencing creative block. You're just completely burned out. You don't want to work. Step back, take a step back, and just relax. Okay? Just relax. This isn't going to kill you. You know, you just got to take a step back, analyze the situation, take a break, go walk outside, go eat some food, whatever you need to do to just decompress. Do it. You'll be fine. Nothing's going to hurt. Nothing's going to hurt. Be sure to communicate and everything like that. So you'll be good. Anyways, guys, I know this is a quick one. We're hitting around the 15-minute mark here. So, well, at least in the recording, after adding and subtracting things, just to make sure we don't have to have those situations. But yeah, so this is a short one. This is a topic that I care about a lot. This is a topic that was recommended, so it's awesome that people are gonna. I know people are gonna get something from this, or that person that that recommended this screenshot. It should be in the screenshot as well. That was it earlier in the podcast. But yeah, thank you for listening to episode 2 of season 3 of the Creative Process Podcast with myself, Jared Klein. I will see you next time. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, week, month. You know, whenever you were listening to this, evening, morning, you know, whatever the middle of the day is called, that's something that I will never figure out. Afternoon, that's what it's called, afternoon. Morning, afternoon, evening. But yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And as always, make sure you tell someone that you love them. All right, peace.